here at the Point Lookout Film Festival with the Cremer brothers, and we're gonna start off with the film Forgotten. You guys got 3 films in the festival this time around, so trying to get through them all here. And we have Arnie here, who's one of the stars of your film. Arnie, how did the casting process go to get for the film for you?
Oh God, I don't even remember when we filmed that. So I think I had done a movie previously with the Bros, and I think you both reached out to me and asked if I was interested in doing it. I was like, absolutely, let's do it. I love working with them. They're great, and the process has always been great. And so I was like, let's hit it.
And how did you guys come up with the concept for this one?
This one was actually kind of personal. We had lost our sister prior to writing this, and it was just kind of this irrational fear of like forgetting her, and the story kind of manifested from there. And I think it's in part based on an Evanescence song too, the song "Missing."
Yeah.
Kind of just like extracted some lyrics from that, and that helped inspire it.
I don't want to give too much away because it's kind of like a surprise thing, so I'll try to work around it, right? So this is more of a dramatic piece from you guys, this one, right?
Yeah.
And not the traditional horror. Do you have it? Well, I guess you do have some horror, and yeah, you do have some horror this time around. So how was the process of filming this one? So it was like a couple of locations. Was it easier than some of the other ones, or harder with the acting and the script?
It was real easy this time. It took a day and a half, basically a Friday night and a Saturday till the afternoon, and I don't know, it went super smooth. Really, it just did. There was no real hiccup other than getting people there. That was an issue because Arnie was stuck at a bus station for a couple hours. I had to go pick him up, and then Austin, his Uber driver, took him like 40 minutes the wrong way. But once everyone was there, it went real smooth.
This is mostly because we collaborated with Outtake Productions on this one too.
Oh, okay.
They were our crew, so we didn't have to worry about doing everything on this one. And we had worked with everybody prior to this, with the exception of Leanna, who plays Marianne.
Yeah, because actually the casting, Arnie's casting was, well, as far as he knows, it was just us reaching out to him. What had happened was Melissa's friend Chris originally just wanted the role or whatever, and then we're like, okay, but then he had a work scheduling conflict, and we immediately thought, well, and we kind of wanted Arnie originally, because it was a co-production thing. We were like, okay, well, we get Austin and let them do their casting choice. But then once he fell through, we immediately was like, well, we got Arnie, we can ask Arnie.
Yeah,
and he was very agreeable to it.
We knew immediately after working with Arnie and Austin, we kind of knew, like, okay, we're gonna cast these guys and other stuff. Like, they were great.
Yeah,
like they're great actors. They're great to be around, professional, easy to work with. So he was like an obvious choice. Yeah, Chris is actually the one. He's in your rate. You're gonna interview him later.
No, okay.
So we did eventually get to work with him, but it was mostly an age thing. Actually, that's the only reason why Arnie wasn't immediately considered, was because there's a little bit of an age difference between Arnie and Austin. So it was just like, but it happens, you know.
Yeah.
So we just went with it.
And so Arnie, so was it learning the script? You had to do it really quickly then because of that, or and are you used to doing that, like right on this? Because it was kind of a lot.
Yeah, I don't. What I'll say is most of my career has been immediate replacement or emergency replacement in whether that's film or theater. Everything that I've done, it's just like someone's just dropped out, and I've either had a friend or someone that I've worked with just be like, I think Arnie can do this. They'll just call me and I'll do it. I'm glad to. I love doing it. And I love the rush of having to learn everything so quickly. So it's something that I'm very familiar with, and I love that kind of a challenge.
Yeah, because it's different. Because it's not like a horror film, and you have like a few lines here or there. There's a lot of chunky lines that you have to learn really quickly in a dramatic piece. So.
And this one, The first time that I had worked with them, it was a little bit longer. So this one was like easier because it wasn't as long.
And not too many, changes and everything. So like really kind of like same area, which is pretty cool. I like those films, especially during these times now, to get like stay in the kind of same area and a couple actors, like the best films to make at this point,
Yeah, absolutely. So. And like they said, the process was so smooth. It took maybe a day and a half. You probably sum it down to hours, and it was great.
Awesome. And you guys had I think I saw this one in theaters, right? So you guys got to play this film in a bunch of festivals before COVID, right?
Yeah. This might be the last year, and then we'll figure out how to get it to the masses after this year.
We filmed it in November of 2018. Oh. So yeah, it was kind of a while ago.
Yeah, I know I've seen it a few times, and I was like, did I see it online? Did I see it in the fest? Did it? Because so everything's just kind of mushed together. It's been our friend bought a bar a year ago one day, and the next day they closed everything. And yesterday was the 1 year anniversary of that happening. Yesterday, a year like that. So so we all went. We're like, we're actually here. It's crazy.
Yeah, in addition to the whole COVID shutdown too, this like Forgotten and Playdate kind of have a drawn out run because we're trying to separate it from some of our other films. Because we were actually told by festival directors, if you put too many movies in, like if you submit them, sometimes they'll just take one or two, and it's like, so we're kind of hurting ourselves.
Yeah,
we kind of spread them out, and that's what happened, because that actually helped Assisted Suicide get a decent run after we separated them, because that's a longer one also, and we're like, well, we don't want. So now we're kind of circling back to Forgotten and ending Playdate's run.
Awesome. Yeah, that's great.
Which also that was how we did this one too. Immediately after wrapping on Forgotten, production of Playdate began. It was the same house. Just different house, because we rented again. You know how we do. We rent a B&B and shoot there. It was like a 2-family home. So one of them was shot in certain rooms in certain parts of the house, and the other one was shot in certain other areas. So
you can't tell. You really can't tell, which is great, right?
I think Diane, who you'll meet, have an interview. She'll be part of the You're It interview. She dressed the set for Playdate, and then took Arnie and Austin. Like drove them to where they needed to go because Forgotten was wrapped, and then she did that like 20 minutes later. She's driving them after doing Playdate. So like that's what I mean. Like it was so smooth that we were able to do both films just in that one. And again, it was because we had Outtake Productions with us that like they're able to do all this. And not also Arnie and Austin are easy to work with too. Like, and we were familiar with them because the one we did with both of them was we were all in the same house for days at a time, and then filming during the day and whatnot. So it's like you get to know people better that way, and so that's what Joe said. We knew we were going to work with them at some point again, and it just so happened to be both of them at the same time. And that's probably again because I don't think we're done working with them at all. Hopefully not.
And if you could do that again, because like right now that'd be perfect to like get. I was thinking of that myself. I was like, can I write some shorts where I could do back-to-back days in like certain areas and just keep going with the same people? Because
that's sort of how we've been doing it. Because it started out our co-productions. We did The Angry Man first, and that was a long weekend for one short.
Yeah.
So then when it was like our turn, where like Outtake Productions was co-producing ours, it was Forgotten and Playdate because we're like those two are short together. They're about the same length as The Angry Man. But then when we got to You're It, again, we crammed them all in the same weekend. We immediately wrapped on You're It, immediately began production on Best of Fest.
Oh, wow.
So for some reason, that's just the way we've been doing things since Forgotten and Playdate. I don't know.
And now they have a new SAG thing that just came out too. So like they want you to like pound out these like short films quickly and you put it under a new thing. So it just came out. I haven't read it fully yet, but it's kind of like the old one they did a couple of years back for SAG. So I don't know. I just read about that, so I'm like, I want to do some SAG shorts, like back to back to back, real quick, before they change it again. So it was like that new media. You remember? Did you ever see that new media contract that came out a few years ago? To use SAG actors and stuff. Well, they came out, and then everyone got into SAG because of that, so they changed some things around, and they made it harder. and now they're making it easier again for filmmakers to work with SAG actors. So because all the filmmakers went non-union for a while and they lost a lot, so they got to do it because of what's going on. So I just heard about that, so I'm like, I'm jumping on that one. So we'll see. So what's next for all of you right now? Arnie, what about you? Like, what are you working on, or have you been able to do anything during this past year?
No, I think what I've had the chance to do, I mainly come from the musical theater world, so I have a lot of dance experience as well. And at the beginning,
that's been hurt the most, right? That's been pretty much hurt the most then.
Absolutely, yeah. And I hadn't been performing for at least a year before the pandemic, so I was okay. But at the beginning of the pandemic, I had collaborated with several other people just to do these dance projects that were being filmed. So that was a lot of fun, and I was in Texas while I was doing that, so I had a lot of space to film those. And I can't remember if I did any projects while I've been here in New York. But just working now, I'm at my job currently. They asked me to come in, so it's really just my sales job that I do here in New York City. And that's been it for me until things open up again. I can start auditioning.
How is the city? Is it, because it was desolate like months ago, is it getting better?
You can tell that so I work for a fitness club, and more people are trying to come in. It's starting to get warmer. People are just happy again now that the sun is out and the cold is kind of calming down. And I think people are getting just more excited. I know that like group fitness classes are on the rise of like opening again. And you can feel the energy. There's a lot of groups kind of hanging around Central Park. I'm located near Central Park, and there's a lot more people. So you can feel the energy. It's like it's really bumping up, and the streets or the sidewalks are starting to slowly get a little more crowded.
That's great. Yeah. What about you guys? Are you filming anytime soon? Or are you waiting a little bit? Because I know you talking about that project. You're going down to South Carolina, but that's not for a while, right?
North Carolina. That's
North Carolina.
Yeah, that's in August.
Oh.
I think we just kind of set the dates.
Oh.
So it'll be about 2 weeks filming in August. We might be doing something before then. We're not sure. It's not. We didn't write it. We're just helping produce it. And our projects are waiting until later this year. Hopefully when everything's really open, or at least mostly back to normal. Yeah. But we've been writing.
So you'll be ready as soon as everything's kind of open. Just go.
Yeah, we're just gonna pick which ones we want to start producing and get them going in pre-production, so that when everything opens up, we're set to go.
Great.
And we own all of our own equipment, so there's no getting funds to rent or anything. It's just get it and go.
Yeah, that's a good thing to have all that. Yeah, there you go. Can't wait. It's exciting. Well, not yet, but hopefully it'll be exciting times in the near future. Yeah. A lot of films being made. So, well, do you guys have any last words you want to add or anything? You want to promote anything, Arnie? Any websites or anything like that?
Oh, it's so good. Yeah, I mean, you can follow me on Instagram, Arnie Rodriguez Jr. on Instagram, and that's pretty much all I have as far as social media goes.
Awesome. What about you guys? Can people follow you or anything upcoming? And
Jobert Entertainment, everything.
Yeah.
Instagram, all there, right? Twitter, Facebook. Just you go to our website, www.jobertentertainment.com. You can find all the links to our social media. And we're usually try to keep everybody up to date as to what's going on as much as we can.
Awesome.
And that's it.
Great. All right. Well, thanks for joining us, Arnie. And
yes, thank you so much.
Thanks, Arnie.
All right.
Thank you all. It's good seeing you.
Okay, so now we're gonna talk about your film Playdate, and we have Bettany. Bettany, you there? How do you say your name again?
Bettina. Like Betty and Tina. Yeah.
So, well, it's good to see you. I haven't seen you in a long time.
Yeah, it's been a long time. We're all been cooped up in our homes for too long. It's almost over, though. I got the vaccine a few days ago. The second vaccine a few days ago.
Wow.
So I'm hoping. So yeah, by the end of March, I'm going to be out and about and ready to film stuff. So
there you go. Yeah, absolutely. I got one shot. I'm going to wait on Saturday. Next week is my second shot, so I'm excited.
Right. Did you get Moderna or Pfizer?
Pfizer. I got Pfizer, and I have. Well, I teach in a school, so I got a lot of kids coming back, so I need it.
Yeah. I do some teaching too. I work as a standardized patient at Touro University, and that's how I got my vaccine at Touro. So yeah.
Well, that's good that a lot of people are getting their second one now. So that's a good sign. It's a good sign.
Good sign. It is a good sign. I'm thrilled.
All right. So, how did you come about to get this role in Playdate?
The Cremer brothers.
Yeah.
I think they emailed me, said, "Do you want to play a weird, creepy person?" I said, "Sure, I'd love to do that."
Did you work with them before?
Yeah, I think like 5 times.
Oh, really? How much?
At that point, maybe 3. I don't remember.
Yeah, Playdate was the third.
Third. So yeah, and I was like, oh yeah, I love working with those guys. They're so fun and interesting, and the scripts are always weird. So, and I love playing unusual characters. So yeah, I was like a no-brainer. Of course, I wanted to do it.
And how did you guys think of her for the role? Were you thinking of it when you wrote it or after, or?
I think it was after.
It was a little bit of both, though. I think we had as we're writing it, somewhat kept her in mind a little bit, but it wasn't like written exactly for her. But then once it was written and we knew we were going to do it, we were like, she was the best of anyone we knew, and it kind of like, so we didn't have to go through a audition process. We already kind of, we already knew someone.
We knew she could handle it. She would be great in it. So
Thank
that
you.
was actually with all the cast in this one too. It was Petra played the other mother, the mother of Abby's mom in this one. We had worked with her previously, and the only ones that were new were the 2 girls. Oh no, that's not even true, because Abby was in The Angry Man.
Oh.
So yeah, Melissa in Outtake Productions got her, and Leanna was new, but we had worked with her and forgotten, the night before and the morning of. So
yeah.
How did you who did like all the makeup for her to look like that?
Oh, that was Sabrina. I'm gonna butcher her name, and I'm so sorry. Van Vliet, I believe. She is, again, she's from Outtake. She worked with them all the time. So when we told Melissa and Teresa, like, okay, we need makeup for this. We need a dead girl.
She did good. She made me look pretty, and then she made the dead girl look great. Yeah.
So she did all the makeup. Yeah, and that's the other thing too, is Leanna had to play a dead girl in 2 films right in a row, back to back.
That's true.
She loved it though. She liked being in the makeup, so it worked out.
That's great. No, and so when you were preparing for this role, did you have that character in mind of how you wanted to play it? Because you're just so like happy-go-lucky in it, and it's such a.
It's one of my.
I don't want to give it away. I don't want to give it away.
I love that role because it's so weird and so good. You don't really see too much of that, in my opinion. I mean, she's so out there, So I like that. I look for roles like that, and they don't come. I mean, I do weird roles, but this one was really, I just got her. I was like, oh, I get this. Like, no one realized how weird she is. You find out like later. So I like the idea of putting on a kind of fun, jovial kind of personality, and then at the end you find out she's really messed up. Really messed up.
That's true too, because we didn't put a lot of give her a lot of direction, like with the clapping and the excitement that she had for the little girl and all that. She kind of just took it and started doing it, and we were happy with it, so we didn't need to tell her to do anything differently. Really, like just keep doing that. Just keep doing that, and you're all right.
Yeah, she added a lot of little nuances, like when she sits down on the tailgate. There's just those little touches. That was actually Bettina, and we were, obviously if we didn't like it, we would have directed her not to do it, but no, she got it.
I feel like I just got into the character and thought of her as like, oh, everyone thinks of me as fun and loving, so that's who I am. And then at the end, you find out, no, she just, she wants a play date for her dead child. So good.
Yeah. So and the girls were great too. I mean, even to the way to react to all that is not easy, right? It's just like what's going on? Like I could just imagine that. It's crazy.
Yeah, and the final shot, the two shot of the girls in the bedroom. I remember filming that one in particular because everybody's waiting, because I was actually the one yelling, saying cut. And I hung on that shot for so long, and it was so awkward. And the crew, everybody was so uncomfortable. I think it was Melissa. I just felt them staring at me like, why aren't you yelling cut? But I think it worked out. We got I think like how drawn out that is. It's supposed to be like this really awkward moment. I think it was achieved.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think you won a bunch of awards for that film, right? In a lot of different festivals.
Yeah, it did. I was going to say that it did pretty well as far as I saw in the route of all the festivals, right?
Yeah, well, I wouldn't remember the awards other than I know Bettina won.
I won Best Actress.
Bright Side.
Bright Side, yeah.
I know that it's been screened 28 times. Like
wow.
It gets picked up a lot, right?
Yeah. It has won more than just the one for Bettina, but I don't really remember what they were.
I know we've won Best Horror Comedy, which that was the only one we're ever nominated for that category, because most people don't find it funny like we do. We find that punchline at the end, we find that funny. We think like it's kind of humorous.
Yeah.
Most people are like, you guys are screwed up. What the hell is wrong with you? It was funny to us. I don't know.
I
thought it was funny, but I guess a lot of people are like a little like disturbed funny, but it works. It really works. But but it had everything to it in like perfect length and everything for I think a lot of film festivals. So it kind of fits. It fits that the horror comedy, disturbing. It could fit anywhere really. So, but I know it did pretty well, and then we get to see it again. So unfortunately, we can't see it at the place this time around, so it'll be online. But we'll see. I think things are coming around. We might do a little Bright Side summer. So
that would be wonderful.
Yeah, summertime. I think later summer. We're hoping to have it just there. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Like 40-minute films and just rotate people constantly. Like make it like so it's not as crowded and still do everything, but just be somewhere.
Yeah.
Because the Garden State Film Festival is kind of doing half and half right now. They were the first fest to go online last year, and they're the first fest kind of like back. So next weekend, I'm actually doing this with them with a few filmmakers because I live right here, but they're having some filmmakers here and then some online. So it's coming. You can feel it coming. So
it is coming. We're at the end of this mess.
So anything going on? Any films? Any acting going on?
Me?
Yeah.
I've been tons of Zoom table reads, really a ton of them, and everyone's like, we're going to be filming after COVID. Once in a blue moon, people are like, maybe we could do some filming on Zoom, but I just really haven't seen too much of that.
Yeah.
One's like a grunge musical. It looks like they were going to do a stage show, and then a film and a webisode, but it looks like they're doing audio book of it. That's a fun one. And then so lots of different roles, but I really want to be back on a set. So until that happens, I don't know. I have nothing to say about anything in particular. So I mean, some of the films have these online festivals. Some of them are like our Netflix or Amazon have like a bunch of films on there. And I'm working as a healer and reading tarot cards.
Oh.
That's been really fun. I went online. I took a bunch of courses. I've been doing it since like mid-90s, but I have all these clients now on Zoom where I read cards and do energy healing. So yeah, I'm really loving that.
It's amazing what people are trying to adjust and do different things and doing things on Zoom and it's like some things will stick and some things will hopefully
we'll have
change.
to see what happens. I mean, up till COVID, I did lots of work on sets, lots of acting, but I also work as a clown and did like events where I'd go do balloon twisting or the tarot cards and healing in person. So I had to like switch everything online. I'm starting to get some balloon gigs. I'm in the middle of learning how to build a big car out of a balloon. It's like halfway done over there. And starting to read some scripts, but who knows? Who knows?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, you guys have any thing else you want to add for the film?
No,
well, hopefully we'll film something again together soon. Maybe a feature of Playdate. Who knows? Just saying. Just saying.
You can make that really disturbing, right? Just crazy.
We actually had an idea for a sequel where they're still friends, still hanging out every day. But Leanna obviously wouldn't be like grown at all, and then we'll recast as a teenager for the other little girl.
Oh, that's good.
That sounds pretty good, actually. I would definitely like to see that.
It's turning. I love it.
Although when people ask if we ever thought of like sequels to our shorts, because Forgotten is actually one that comes up, and I'm like, to me, I can't see anything but like a cheesy like 80s, 90s sitcom where like they're waiting for their dead girl. Like, it's what the hell is this? I don't know what.
It could be. It could be like one of those.
Like the tone would just change completely, and now it's just a sitcom.
Yeah, I'm sure that's
true. It probably worked. Well, back then it would definitely work. In the 80s, they just kept pumping things out like that. I think there was something like that. There was one recently. I was talking with Ming Chen, and there was this TV show that he used to watch, and it got canceled. And then they changed the characters, and they brought it back as a different show, and then that got canceled. And it was about this guy who dies, and he has to fix stuff in his life, so they send him back as the adult to take care of him as a young kid. And Matthew Perry was in the show, and it's just crazy, weird, and wild. And they canceled that, and then they brought Matthew Perry back with the same rest of the cast, but he wasn't dead. And they made it a different title, and then that got canceled. And it's
wow,
all those 80s. Oh man, but that's funny. But that would like work perfectly in that. But well, thanks for joining us today. And
thanks. I'm glad I could pop on. I'm in the middle of one of these like healing classes, so I got to get back to that. But that was really great to see everyone.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, at least we get to see you somehow, right?
A little bit. It was really great. Yeah. So I wish you all well, and hope to see you guys soon.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. We're here with cast and crew of You're It, and another Cremer Brothers production. So we'll start with you guys again, and say, how did you come up with this film's idea?
This film actually, well, we had the concept just come out of the blue for us. We're just like, oh, that'd be a cool idea. But we basically made it a metaphor for other filmmakers, and I guess just life in general. Because there are people that, they want certain things, success, whatever it may be, but they're not willing to go out and work for it, seek it. They're just sitting there waiting to die, basically, and hoping that something happens.
Yeah.
So it's really about the two different types of people in life, where Addie, the main character, is the type of person who goes out and seeks. And so everybody else gets left behind. Because they're not willing to do the work. And because what happened was doing all these festival circuits, there's a lot of people who do just mostly talk about making movies.
Yeah.
But don't actually make films. And it's just, I got to wait for a distributor. I got to wait for that. And it's like, then it's not the film to do right now. Do something else.
There's a specific guy. Right? I'm not going to name names. There's a specific person that it wasn't actually at a festival, but it was someone that we had to work with who was like nothing but talk. This is like years ago. He's talking about doing this and doing that, and he never actually produces anything.
Yeah, that happens at the festivals quite often. There's always that guy, right? It's always like always. But so let's start with the young talent. How was it with the two of you working on this film?
It was really fun. I love the cast and crew, and it was just an amazing experience.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was really cold that day, but like I think they brought like blankets and like hot chocolate and lots of food and stuff. And they made it really fun for us. We got to meet a lot of new people, and I really liked it.
and you had there was a lot of young talent on the set, so you guys got sort of like same age level and everything like that. So was that fun to do that?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was really fun.
And have you was this your first films or no? You've done other things beforehand?
I've done a film before with the Outtake Productions, with the Cremer brothers. So I've done it. Was.
What about you?
For this company, this was like my first time doing it, but I've done like other things like short films and stuff like this in the past.
Oh, okay, absolutely. So, what about Chris and your character?
Well, I think they were looking for somebody that could really dive in to a father figure who is neglectful and a jerk. And I'm pretty sure they just came up to me and they're like, "Hey, you're a jerk, so you're perfect for this role." And I was like, cool. So that's kind of how I came into play. And then Diane, I don't know where she's on your screen.
Yeah. Well,
but when I heard that I would have to work with her, I was like, ugh, fine. This is going to be a piece of cake.
And how about you, Diane?
I have worked with the Cremer brothers before, as well as Outtake Productions, as well as Chris. So when they asked me to do it, I was obviously like, yes, I'm very excited to be a part of it. I also worked helping with production coordination. So I was there on the set the day of the very, very cold. But I was glad that my scenes were inside. Sorry, guys.
So since it was very cold, how did you girls deal with the weather outside? Were you like, you had to bundle up beforehand, or like, and then
we were like huddled together like penguins with blankets on. It was really funny. And we had like gigantic coats and blankets on, and we had hot chocolate and stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, we had like these big like comforter things like for each of us. Like the parents, not that much because they're not the talent, we are. So we had these big blankets on, and we were all like cuddled up like this and stuff. And yeah.
Yeah, we also like had like those big hot hand things like that you can put on your back and stuff. And
yeah.
We put them all over our body. It was freezing.
Oh.
What were you guys thinking of filming outside with kids in the cold?
We had one day to film at the Gingerbread Castle, and we took it. We did not.
Yeah.
Did not anticipate it being that.
Supposed to be that cold.
No, it wasn't supposed to be. Yeah, but I hate those days.
We did have. We tried to help out as much as we could. We set up a giant tent with some heaters in it, and we basically just tossed wardrobe out the window because they all had planned outfits to wear.
No.
And it was like, no, you're wearing your coats now because, you know, I'm not going to be responsible for some kid getting pneumonia. Like, no.
And so it was all one day, and
yeah, all the Gingerbread Castle stuff was done in one day in November, so with short days too.
Yeah,
because we actually didn't get all of the shots we wanted. Because if you recall the film when before Jaden gets found, we cut to her a lot, and it kind of creates a suspense. And we did it again with Gage's character. We didn't get to do it with Jacob's character because it was like we just lost daylight. It was like, no, we got to finish this now.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's gonna run out of daylight eventually, right? So it's not easy to do that. But well, at least you got it all in, right? And then did you do the inside the same day or a different day?
That was the next day we did the interiors. And then that same apartment was used for Best of Fest. Like I said, it was the same day. The kitchen was used for You're It, and then we went into the living area for Best of Fest.
And when did you film this? Like
November of 2019. I think it was like a weekend before Thanksgiving, maybe.
No.
Yeah.
Something like that. Somewhere around that time.
And then, you never know those days. It's going to be a nice warm one or cold. Thanksgiving's always like could be freezing cold or it could be nice out. You never know. It's crazy. But yeah, absolutely. So have you been able to see this film at a festival?
No.
We had a couple opportunities, but the easiest one was actually, what was it, Pop-Up Anthology? Jersey City Pop-Up.
Yeah.
But we actually couldn't make it.
Oh.
So we were actually seeing it at Phoenix Cinemas on the big screen, and we couldn't actually go, which was horrible for us. And the other ones were like drive-ins in Western Pennsylvania, which that's like, what am I gonna drive 8 hours? I don't know. But he actually, the person who ran that festival contacted us because he teaches kids. He said he loved the concept so much that he was going to use it as a teaching exercise.
Oh, wow.
Because like, I guess they rotate what jobs they do. So basically it was like going to be hide and seek, and whoever's found is dead. And then they have to like rotate the jobs based on who's found. It's like, all right.
All right, cool, right?
We're inspiring people, I guess.
So you girls, have you ever been to a film festival before? Like an actual be there?
I haven't.
Yeah, not yet. I'm hoping to in the future, but like for now, no, I haven't.
Well, hopefully they'll start opening up and you get to see you're it in one of them, right? And hopefully, so are you waiting on some fest for you're it? Are you waiting for some festivals to?
We're both waiting for obviously selections to come in, and
yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah, and maybe they're holding off till they are actually physical.
We're also waiting for some, because a lot of people actually just postpone it.
Yeah.
So on our Facebook page, we just put a list of festivals that are to be announced, like the times and dates.
Yeah.
And I know some of those are actually theaters in the city, and hopefully those don't get put online or canceled. Hopefully, they'll.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why we waited. We still didn't do the Bright Side from August. We're doing that in May, and then we're doing the March one in August, so we can have it. So.
Yeah, you're in one of those, I believe.
Oh, it is. It is probably in the first. If we do it, the one that was supposed to be in August, I might be in that one. Maybe if it is, then that we're going to try to do like partially there and online as well. So you can go watch it online, or you can actually go to Jersey City, and we'll have like 20 people maybe in. We'll see. We'll see how we work it out. But we're trying to push it to May. We're like, at least it'll be warmer. So we'll see. And Tommy at the Bright Side is like, just have it. So so we'll see. We'll see what happens. But that would be exciting though to at least be the like first one back, even if it's not that many people there.
Yeah.
To at least see it live on a theater and everything like that. So big screen. So
you should mention too that Diane mentioned that she does other stuff on our set. She's not just the talent. She helps out behind the scenes all the time.
Oh.
And Chris actually has been doing the music for us lately. He did all 3 films that are in this festival: Forgotten Playdate and You're It. He did all of them.
How is that? How you watch the films and then you come up with it after, or you kind of go along with it with the script, or how do you come up with the music?
It's kind of a mixed bag. First of all, I kind of feel so lucky because I get the opportunity before any festivals to actually see the work in raw form, Matt, with all the actors just giving everything, no music's informing anything that's going on. And it's really very cool just to watch it straight through, see how I'm reacting to it. And I kind of take the a little bit of the John Carpenter approach, where you're just watching and you're letting the music kind of just, there might be a melody, but it's actually just more informing what's going on, or actually going against what is going on to create a little bit more of that uncomfortability. So it's fun because it allows to play. And also hearing from the Cremer brothers too, they're like, with this film, we're kind of seeing it's like a mix of like the Goonies versus this for this music. And I'm just like, I don't know what that means in their mind, but this is really cool to me. So let's try. So just playing different drafts, and it's really fun to do creative in that kind of aspect versus just performing or even writing.
Especially like when they're doing like either a horror or a drama or a comedy, like completely different.
Oh, totally, yeah. And sometimes even if it is a horror, like in You're It, where in the beginning where everyone is kind of scattering around hiding, it kind of plays with this little bit more of like a youth, in my mind anyways, a little bit more of like a youth, like just going to play, it's an adventure, and then all of a sudden something changes and the mood changes, and it's maybe unexpected, maybe expected, but it's fun to play with that kind of stuff.
Absolutely. That's cool. Yeah. I always wondered how like different people do the score and things like that. So I like that concept. I used to send my films out to somebody and they'd watch it and do the same thing you did. So it always worked that way. So I like that. Yeah, cool. Absolutely. And so, what else do you do on the set, Diane?
Oh, it depends. But
everything behind the scenes.
For Urit, I helped with production coordination, mostly trying to make sure that the kids stayed warm and were not in inappropriate cold levels. I took them to the gas station sometimes to warm up, and just helped coordinate kind of in and out of where they could be. And I actually helped with the makeup on that set too. So wherever I'm needed, I just enjoy being part of the production in any way that I can. I'm constantly learning from working with both Jobert Entertainment and Outtake Productions. So it's exciting to try out new things or to just kind of follow along and learn new things and then get to try it out on a different production. So
since you've done all this kind of stuff and learned all different kinds of jobs, what about you writing and directing something?
You know, I dabble in the directing, assistant directing.
Yeah. So it's pretty much, if you're an assistant director, you can do it. That's the toughest job on the set is assistant director. It's the hardest job on any set.
You got a lot to do, right? So I enjoyed that part and that aspect. And I will actually be assistant directing on Kith and Kin with Outtake Productions and Jobert Entertainment, hopefully in August. But the writing part I haven't really gotten to yet. I think I need a little bit more confidence to really dive in, but maybe in the future.
Absolutely. So, Cremer Brothers, are you writing any more scripts with young talent?
We actually, I think we do have a couple written already, but we're not afraid to anymore, I guess.
Yeah, right.
When it all started with actually The Angry Man, which was Outtake with us. And it was Abriella and Abby, who we've obviously worked with both of them since then. And they were like the most professional actors I've ever seen. Because I don't know, I've worked with adults and they're horrible sometimes. I just can't stand it.
It's true.
I was blown away. I was like, oh wow, so maybe it's not so bad. And even I think at that point we had this script. It wasn't exactly the same because we had a different location. But we were always afraid to do it. We're like, all those kids. But then we dipped our toes in with Forgotten and Playdate. Again, it went really well. And we're like, well, let's just do it. As long as, Melissa, Teresa, Diane, as long as we have them there, we're going to be fine. So we I think we relied on them a lot with when working with kids, but I will gladly do it again, especially the ones that we've worked with already.
Absolutely. So why don't we start with the girls here? And did you have any upcoming projects, or have you done anything during the past year during all this craziness, or do you have anything upcoming?
So I've been focusing on musical theater education and stuff, and also signing with agents and managers. So that's what I've been focusing on.
How is school? Are you in school or are you online school?
I'm homeschooled, so. Yeah.
What about you, Jaden?
I've been doing lots of stuff. I've been filming short films. I filmed this character recently. Well, actually, it was in 2020, but it was kind of recent. And I think I'm going back for another part May 18th, I think. And so I've been working on that kind of stuff. I've been filming commercials, short films. I've been working on that stuff a lot. So. What
about school? Are you online or virtual or
my school? My school, they do. Some days they go to school, some days they don't. But I stay home. I really want to go back to school, but my mom's kind of afraid of COVID and stuff, so I have to stay home.
Not quite. Yeah, that's the situation we're in. I teach, so some kids are in 1 day a week or 2 days a week, and then they're online, and some are online the full time. So I think tomorrow more kids are coming in. So.
And I'll say this, Ella, you forgot to mention a virtual project you did with Outtake Productions this past year.
Oh yeah, Blockwatch.
Oh, that's another one coming out?
That's been out. Yeah, that's been out. I was playing it. That was really fun.
Absolutely.
Chris and I were also in that. We like to work together.
I don't think I saw that one.
That you work well with, it's important to kind of like keep them. But yeah, that was with Outtake. We're entering it into festivals now, I believe. Yeah. We honestly did it more as a quarantine project, and then really fell in love with it. And we were like, you know what, we should submit this into things. Let's do it. So we've started.
Absolutely, might as well, right?
Yeah.
But anybody want to promote anything? Do you have any websites or any social media that you would like to promote for everyone? You want to start at?
You can follow my Instagram. It's Gabriella Ruby Official.
What about you, Jaden?
Yeah, I have Instagram too. It's at Jaden Jennifer. So that's like my official account and stuff.
Chris, do you have any websites that follow anything or?
I mean, definitely follow the Jobert Entertainment. Just going to call that out. And then also I'm very bad with Instagram, but I have an Instagram, CM Christiana, and I am old, so I do have a Facebook, or the Facebook rather.
Yeah.
So you can follow that as well.
What about you, Diane?
If you follow Jobert Entertainment and Outtake Productions, then I'm most likely involved in some capacity.
There you go. Yeah. I'm the same with Instagram. I'm learning, I'm starting to do it because at school now they're like, well, I had the Facebook thing down, and now they're like, I'm all over school Twitter, all over school Instagram, and now they're like TikTok. So I made a school TikTok, and we have animation all over TikTok, and it got like thousands of views for these little animations we did, and I'm like, why? It makes no sense whatsoever. So some kids put me on TikTok, and it was like 10,000 views. I'm like, great. Awesome. Just keep dancing in the background. So stupid, but it's funny though. But it's all that, like the educational one. But so Cremer Brothers, where can we find all your stuff? One more time there.
www.jobertentertainment.com. There's Jobert Entertainment on Facebook, Instagram. We're on Twitter, although we don't do anything with it. It's just there.
Yeah.
And you can obviously outtakeproductions.com. They're on Facebook, Instagram, I think Twitter also. And you can follow Kith and Kin on Facebook. We have that web series coming up with Outtake Productions with us.
Cool.
That's going to be the big thing on the horizon for us, I guess.
Yeah. You've hit everything now. You get the short films and the web shows and all that stuff. And
I think the ladies of Outtake Productions really wanted to get us into a web series, and they finally did. So this is the start of that. So,
are you ever going to go back to a feature?
Yes.
There you go.
We're actually been thinking about it recently. I think I just brought it up to Herb yesterday because like we know all these actors, we want to work with them again.
Yeah.
And we're like, maybe we can do one of those like 90s films, where there's like 1,000 characters and it's just there's no story, but it's just a bunch of good characters that you care,
Just follow the cameras around. Yeah.
Yeah. It was actually setting up this interview. I was like, oh yeah, Arnie, Austin, Chris, Diane, like, have some kids in there, Ella, Jaden. Why not? Just
that would be fun.
It'll be a generational thing. I don't know.
I like it.
Yeah.
You do like a 13 going on 30, have the kids young, and then just all of a sudden they're the older version, and they go back again.
Gabriella did play younger me in Angry Man, so we already have that going for us.
You go. You can do that again.
Yeah, the connection between the Angry Man and Yuri is very odd because she was younger Diane in Angry Man. In this one, she played her daughter.
Yeah.
Gage played Diane's daughter, which is older Gabriella in The Angry Man. And in this one, it was her friend. So, yeah, it was really weird. But that's what happens when you want to work with the same people, you know.
Yeah, that's like the Brat Pack from the 80s. You just doing different roles. But, well, thanks for joining me today. And, congrats on the film and everything. And hope more success. And you get to see it in a theater soon, I hope. So,
thank you.
Absolutely. I got one more to do today, then I got to do my schoolwork. So, yeah, thanks for joining. I'll cut it up during the week. I'm going to put a bunch of them up, and I'll put them on Facebook, and our webpage, and wherever else, YouTube as well. I guess we have a YouTube page too. So, so it will be up on there. maybe later during the week, because it's going to be a crazy couple days for me at school. So later in the week, I'll have a bunch of the interviews. I'll probably do a few at a time because it takes a while to go through. So I'll probably put 2 or 3 up at a time.
Cool.
So yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah, thanks for joining me, and I will hopefully see everyone soon.